After gaining independence from England in 1783, the U.S. ratified our Constitution on March 4, 1789. On December 15, 1791, the Bill of Rights was adopted to protect the individual rights of U.S. citizens and to limit the power of the newly established government. The Second Amendment gave U.S. citizens the right to keep and bear arms to protect themselves and their home, as well as to help defend their country against foreign and domestic tyranny.
The first piece of national gun legislation came in June of 1934 as part of the New Deal for Crime Act, which was intended to address Prohibition-era violence. It outlawed sawed-off shotguns, machine guns, and silencers. The Gun Control Act of 1968 expanded the definition of a machine gun, raised the legal age of handgun ownership to 21, and prohibited the mentally ill and convicted felons from purchasing guns. It also banned destructive devices such as bombs, mines, and grenades.
In recent decades, the Second Amendment right to own and use semi-automatic rifles responsibly, specifically versions of the AR-15, has become one of the most divisive gun rights controversies in U.S. history. To some, the AR-15 has become a symbol of lawlessness, tragedy, and fear. To others, it has become a symbol that embodies American freedom. It has become a divisive icon for both gun control activists and activists that fully support the Second Amendment of the Constitution, which states, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed."
In 1954, George Sullivan founded Armalite, a small arms engineering company based in Los Angeles, California. In early 1956, Armalite developed a working prototype for the AR-10 to present to the U.S. military. The design of the AR-10 was innovative, but it was not adopted in place of the military's current M14 service rifle. The AR-10 saw only limited testing and use in military service. In the late 1950s, Armalite began development of the AR-15. It was based on the AR-10 design, but was updated to be more compact, more accurate, and more reliable.
Facing financial strain, Armalite sold the AR-15 design to Colt Firearms in 1959. In 1962, Colt presented the AR-15 design to the U.S. military, which was then adopted as the M16 service rifle. Colt was awarded a production contract in December of 1963, and in 1964, the M16 saw heavy action during the Vietnam War. The M16 was capable of automatic fire, semi-automatic fire, and a 3-round burst fire. That same year, Colt released a semi-automatic AR-15 sport rifle to the public, but is not widely popular. Many gun enthusiasts considered it odd and ugly, and dubbed it the Black Rifle because of the all-black design. The AR-15 became popular with law enforcement due to its effectiveness and reliability after Vietnam. It also became popular among survivalists due to its lightweight and dependability.
Until the late 80s, the AR-15 had seen limited notoriety. Tragically, on the morning of January 17, 1989, Patrick Purdy used an AKS-47 semi-automatic rifle to shoot 36 children, killing 5 and wounding 31 others at the Cleveland Elementary School in Stockton, California. Though different in appearance, an AKS-47 has similar firing capabilities as an AR-15. At the time, it was not widely known that these types of guns were available to the general public. The media coverage of the situation and the reporting of the firearms used helped to inform the general public of its availability. Public controversy arose over whether citizens should have the right to own these types of firearms. The term assault weapon and assault-style rifle began to be used in reference to both types of rifles. In California, the Roberti Ruse Assault Weapons Control Act of 1989 outlawed the ownership or transfer of over 50 specific brands and rifle models labeled as assault weapons. Over the next few years, efforts to control access to semi-automatic firearms with high-capacity ammunition magazines intensified, partly in response to the Luby's cafeteria shooting in October 1991 and the 101 California street shooting on July 1, 1993, in San Francisco, California. These incidents left 31 people dead and 33 wounded. Both shootings involved the use of semi-automatic pistols with high-capacity ammunition magazines. Democratic California Senator Dianne Feinstein drafted a bill that included legislation to limit the general public's access to firearms labeled as assault weapons. It passed the Senate in November of 1993. Democratic Representative Jack Brooks of Texas tried to remove the assault weapon ban section from the crime bill, but was unsuccessful. The National Rifle Association of America also opposed the ban. In November of 1993, NRA spokesman Bill McIntyre said that assault weapons are used in only 1% of all crimes. That low usage statistic was later supported in a 1999 Department of Justice brief. In May of 1994, former Presidents Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and Ronald Reagan wrote to the U.S. House of Representatives supporting the banning of semi-automatic assault guns. They cited a 1993 poll's conclusion that 77% of Americans supported a ban on the manufacture, sale, and possession of such weapons. Congress passed the bill in August of 1994, and President Clinton signed it into law as the Crime Control Act on September 13th. Part of that law supported a 10-year ban on the manufacture, transfer, and possession of firearms referred to as assault weapons, as well as large-capacity ammunition magazines. The bill would expire on September 13, 2004, unless extended prior to that date. In response to the pending ban, production and sales of semi-automatic rifles increased. The ban called out the Colt AR-15 by name, but it did not cover all versions of semi-automatic weapons. To be banned as an assault weapon, they had to have at least two of the following features: a folding stock, a bayonet mount, a conspicuously protruding pistol grip, a flash suppressor, or a grenade launcher. Versions of the AR-15 continued to be made under the guidelines of the assault weapons ban. Overall gun production increased from 1.1 million units per year to around 1.4 million units per year. It is unclear how effective the gun law actually was in stemming the crime-related use of assault-style weapons. Findings and opinions vary. Ultimately, the assault weapon ban was allowed to expire on September 13, 2004.
Representative Butch Otter of Idaho stated in 2004 that the ban provided only the illusion of reducing gun violence, but it did real damage to our liberties. Throughout the ban, the NRA effectively used the ban to promote legal gun owners to take responsibility for the protection of their Second Amendment rights. As the assault weapon ban neared 2004, the NRA began promoting the AR-15 as a modern sporting rifle for use in sports, target practice, and home defense. Instead of being called the Black Rifle, the NRA began referring to the AR-15 as America's Rifle. On October 7th, 2001, the U.S. initiated Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan in response to September 11th terror attacks. In 2003, the U.S. entered the Second Gulf War in Iraq. U.S. citizens saw daily footage of military personnel with AR-15 style weapons. Soldiers returning from active duty in both conflicts had an appreciation for the weapon they had been trained to use and were interested in being able to own a civilian version. Sales of AR-15 style rifles have continued to increase since the expiration of the assault weapons ban, despite attempts to reinstitute gun control legislation.
Sadly, mass shootings have continued to take place over the past decades. Some have included the use of AR-15 style weapons, while others have not. After each major incident, firearms sales have tended to increase, presumably in anticipation that there may be attempts made to pass new gun control legislation. When the 1994 gun ban went into effect, there were only a few manufacturers making AR-15 rifles. After the ban's expiration, there were 30. By 2015, 500 gun manufacturers were making AR-15 style rifles. Today, it is estimated that 1 in 20 Americans own at least one AR-15, and close to 393 million firearms are in circulation within the U.S.
The AR-15 has become a symbol of the Second Amendment's core principles of self-defense, personal freedom, and the right of law-abiding citizens to own effective firearms. The AR-15's versatility, reliability, and performance in sport shooting, hunting, and home defense make it a preferred choice for legal, responsible gun owners. Responsible gun ownership involves securing firearms within your home, handling them safely at all times, following all laws, and most of all, respecting their power. Every type of firearm was developed with the intent that it be capable of being used as a lethal weapon. Lethal weapons of any kind should only be found in the hands of citizens that are responsible and trusted to exercise their rights by using them only for good.